Alright, hello. I guess this is the mid-season recap, and since I've had things to do, um, I don't really have a plan for this video, so I don't know, let's just see where it takes us, yeah? So one thing I've been doing since a certain point in the season, I have been, uh, I made my own statistic, I made my own analytic, let's say. Um, Pretty much the idea is that points are left on the bench a lot by whether it's because people get injured, so people in your starting lineup don't perform, or you just started the wrong person, or something like that. It pretty much tells you how good your team is actually doing or could be doing if you happen to play the best your best lineup each week, like it's best ball. I put together everyone's best lineup for each week, all 10 weeks, and everybody got what I'm pretty much calling a best ball score, um, just to see how much points their team could actually have in comparison to what they do have, whether it be manager user error or just bad performances in general. Um, Now, for context, just so you know, it's been benching people like Justin Jefferson on off weeks, uh, benching AJ Brown because he got hurt, even though you wouldn't have known that before the game started, stuff like that. So, while this isn't an entirely reliable statistic, um, I just came up with it to maybe get a better sense of depth for everyone's team and how many points they could potentially be scoring. As you can see, I have Noda still at number one in scoring. Mason is second. I'm third. Alexis fourth. Miguel's fifth. Brendan, Caleb, Cade, Eric, Jack. Um, like I said, this was all 10 weeks. There is probably outdated information by now. There's been trades, uh, injuries, key waiver additions, stuff like that. So I made, I went ahead. I counted only the last 3 weeks to try and keep the information as relevant as possible to the way our league changes. Because our league a month ago is probably pretty different from our league right now. So I summed up the last 3 weeks of best ball scores for each team, and this is the new leaderboard. Narrowly at number one is actually Gabe Mason's team. At two, Noda, and then Alexei's third. I think these three teams are uh, probably the three favorites to make playoffs. Purely off of record alone, Noda and Alexei are one and two, and then I think many would agree that Mason is probably a good bet for the third spot. Then the fourth spot is still all up in the air. I've had some ass weeks. I can't lie. I know that better than anybody. I've had some ass weeks recently. So I have the seven. I have the third lowest score, but I am 6-4. So technically, I am still in the playoffs right now. But things will need to pick up for my team. Jack, with the addition of Justin Fields, like I said, our league a month ago is not the same as it is now. Jack with Justin Fields has gotten a really good influx of points, so that's really helped boost his score. Miguel still doing good without Jamar Chase. Look at Caleb. Look at Caleb. Look at him, top five. Look at you go. And then the guy he traded with in that one trade that happened, nothing impactful. Uh, right above him. And at the bottom, Cade and Eric. Wow. Eric, unfortunately, one of our ongoing Pancake Watch candidates, does indeed have the lowest score in the past 3 weeks. Um, but hey, it's still close. You could definitely get not last. It's possible. Um, the other thing I did want to mention, because like I said, there are times where we as managers of our teams are like, oh, I should have started this person. If I started this person, I would have won. Yada yada, whatever. The insane thing is, through all 10 weeks, after every week, I checked to see if both teams played their best lineup uh, would the outcome of the match have changed? Were there any win-loss flips? I'll tell you. Through 10 weeks, through 10 weeks, there was only one game where when both teams played their best lineup, that the winner and the loser was switched. And that one game was last week. It was week 10. So, if you ever think, oh man, if only I played this one person, the odds are if the other person played this other one person, they probably would have won, they probably would have won still. But with that being said, the one the one person, the one game that would have been flipped if both teams still played their best lineup was was the matchup between Cade and Eric, where Eric started Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who he traded who he traded Ken Walker for, by the way. Just want to point, just to remind you. That's the week he started Clyde Edwards-Helaire when he put up 0 points. He loses to Cade by 10. And if he had played his best lineup, he would have scored 111.48. He had 20 points left on the bench, and Cade's best lineup only hit 106.5. So in the it's you really couldn't write this. That the two lowest performing teams in the past 3 weeks, that's the one game out of 5 games a week for 10 weeks, it's the only game where the winner and loser was flipped if both teams played their best lineup. But yeah, there's a lot of things to think about with this stat. This stat doesn't really mean that much. 'Cause like I said, it would mean that you would have had to predict benching your best players on random injury weeks or random off weeks for like your fifth receiver or something like that. So it's not like these potentials are entirely possible to hit, um, but it's just a good sense of how many people on your team can be performing at one time. And then, just to go over some fun stuff that happened this year, let me just pull up my phone. Let me just look at some receipts. Also, I'm not going to go too in depth with these or anything because I do need content for the actual recap for next season. So I'm not going to go super in depth with this. There's still other things I want to do that isn't this at the moment. But let's just relive things a little bit. Um, Noda starting Cam Akers week 1, getting 0 points. That was fun. Alexei had a 200-point game. That was fun. We had a trade day. What happened on the trade day? September 20. All right. Well, our first trade, September 22nd, was Terry McLaurin for Amari Cooper. And that's not interesting. September 29th, we had 1, 2, 3 trades. Oh God, we had this one. This was a woo. Cade sends Brandon Cooks and Najee Harris to Jack to Mike Evans and Josh Jacobs. I know we like to talk about the trade after this one and the Ken Walker trade as the worst trades. I mean, this one, no, it's not the worst. It's not the worst. It's not even close to the worst. It just is. It unfortunately ended up very lopsided. The timing of the trade was very unfortunate. Josh Jacobs' points were going up when he was traded. Well, I guess not just Najee, but Pittsburgh as a whole just looked kind of poopy, to put it nicely. Somehow with this trade, Cade is still sniffing the barrel right now. But hey, it's still kind of early. It's not really early, but there's still 100% time for a lot of people to make a run for that fourth, maybe third playoff spot. So we'll see. Then we have a trade that many think is the worst. I disagree, but teach their own. Caleb sends AJ Brown and Alvin Kamara to Brendan for Aaron Jones and Kyle Pitts. I didn't hate this trade. I definitely liked Brendan's side more, but I didn't hate it. Uh, Aaron Jones, I think Aaron Jones has been better than Alvin Kamara. Kinda. I mean, he's kind of boom bust, but I think besides the explosion week, I think I'm confident saying besides the explosion rate, Aaron Jones has been more productive. I think besides those those two outlier games for AJ Brown and Alvin Kamara that happened on the same week. Um, I don't think this is that crazy of a trade. Kyle Pitts definitely needs to not perform, but produce more. Um, Brendan, I think definitely still wins because AJ Brown's just better than Kyle Pitts. But I don't think it's that bad. It's not that crazy. I trade Marquise Brown to Gabe Mason for Antonio Gibson. I don't know. Felt like it. Um, I had 6 receivers and they were all performing, and I was like, I don't need this one. And then he went on IR, so that was kind of good. Sorry, dude. Anyways, moving on. I think this is the worst trade. Clyde Edwards-Helaire from Miguel to Eric for Ken Walker III. I mean, it's literally a running back that is not even on the field for a top 5 running back in the past, like, since he started. Since when? Week 6? Like, come on, come on. Like, what are we doing here? There's no theory behind this. There's no theory. There's no world. There's no world where this is okay. You know how I know this is not even defendable? You know how I know? You know how I know? Ken Walker has 3 games of 20 plus carries. Clyde Edwards-Helaire has 0 games of 20 plus carries. And 1 game of 10 plus carry of 1 game where he had 19 rush attempts. Every other game is less than 10 carries. There's no. Clyde Edwards doesn't even play. It's not. This is the worst trade. I don't care. Miguel, you can try to spin this however you fucking want. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Anyone with a brain, anyone with a brain, knew that this was some shit. Gabe Mason already said that he only thought Eric won because he was in denial, because he dropped Ken Walker earlier in his other league. So I don't want to hear it, Miguel. All right. All right. I trade Devontae Smith, James Robinson, and Antonio Gibson to Eric because I was not going to play any of those running backs. And then I got Brandon Ayuk and Damian Harris back. Um, I mean, this is a really weird trade because in the end, uh, James Robinson got dropped, and then Damian Harris got dropped, and now Eric just has Devontae Smith and Gibson. I just have Ayuk, but I don't know. I don't think this was that crazy of a trade. There's moving parts, but like none of them were that impactful. Uh, J.D. McKissick in Washington did get hurt, so Gibson, even though Brian Robinson came back, Gibson is still getting touches, so that's cool. Good for Eric. Just could have had Ken Walker. No interesting trades after that. Nothing I think worth talking about. Oh wait, never mind. There's one that happened literally right now. Literally right now. Between Brendan and Gabe Mason. Gabe Mason gets Keenan Allen, and then Brendan gets Marquise Brown. I think this is a fine trade. I know we don't talk about Keenan's a wide receiver 1. Yeah, but like, I don't care. If Brendan wants his Kyler Murray stack, and more power to him. Yeah, I mean, Marquise Brown or Keenan Allen, I think, would still probably be wide receiver 1 or 2 on Gabe's team. So, like, what else do I have in my notes? Oh, yeah, we had that time where Cade said he was going to leave the league if we didn't add a bench spot. That was fun. We had the Rashad Penny in London incident, or no, the Alvin Kamara in London incident, where, what was it? Kamara was out like at like 6 a.m. or whatever the fuck, and then Rashad Penny put up like 45 points. That was 45. Rashad Penny put up a shit ton of points on Brendan's bench, and it became a whole thing. We were talking about the Ken Walker trade. Oh, we had that time where Caleb, Eddie Brocked Gabe Mason's team. I think it worked. I don't remember what happened after that, but it might have worked. Oh wait, no. Oh, sorry, that was too early. Oh, what is? I mean, my notes say pancake watch hostility. I mean, I think it's just, I don't know. Was it Cade? Was Cade? I don't know what week this was. Caleb, been looking for a quarterback for 7 weeks plus still. There was that time where Caleb tried to trade Tyreek Hill. That was fun. And then, oh no, wait. Pancake Watch Hostility was Caleb and Gabe and the Eddie Brock situation. I got you. And then Miguel versus Gabe. That was recent. Uh, they, I think we mostly remember that one where Miguel and Gabe were just going back and forth on that one Sunday night, Titans Chiefs. Miguel, Miguel was being chill and then Gabe was not. And then there's that time where Jack dropped Mike Williams, or like his dad did. That was interesting. That was not on my bingo card. And then Cooper Cup got hurt. My team is now worthless. And then there was the thing right now with the Keenan Allen and Marquise Brown trade. Um, as of the time of this video, there has been no further trades. The trade deadline is Saturday. I don't know when this video is coming out. Um, but yeah, if anything happens in between the time I upload this and the time I'm recording, then I'll edit it in somehow. But yeah. My prediction for who's making the playoffs: uh, Noda, Alexei, Gabe, and then um, I, I guess Miguel. I'll go with Miguel. I would pick myself, but yeah, fuck it, I'll pick myself. I'm taking the fourth spot. Good luck to everyone this the rest of the season. Pray no injuries, knock on wood, or minimal injuries. Yeah, good luck everybody. Uh, I will see you next summer for the next the full season recap. I'm gonna go play Pokemon. Goodbye.